Hi friends! Kumusta sa ating mga test takers? Nakapaghanda na ba kayo ng inyong sarili at kayo ba ay nakapag-ready na ng inyong mga papers para sa inyong online application? Nakagawa na ba kayo ng inyong mga account? So for today, we will be starting with our Nqesh Review 2024 live part 1. Usually, I will do this after work hours. Siguro a simple discussion on things about the upcoming examination. Ang mga bagay na dapat ninyong malaman para sa pagpasa ng Nqesh. So, antay-antay muna tayo ng mga papasok sa ating live. By the way, I would like to introduce myself first sa ating mga nagre-review. I'm Aris Barago and yun, nag-echo. Yun, meron na tayong apat na 5 viewers. Thank you for watching this live video. Sorry for my subscribers na mga nagme-message at nagsasabi na makahingi ng mga reviewers. Yung iba na mga nag-message at nag-email, nabigyan ko na, I have already sent files for you to review. Nagbigay na ako ng mga soft copy ng mga reviewer at sa compilation ng aking mga review materials. Yung iba naman na hindi ko pa nasasagot, paki-follow up lang kasi marami tayo pang mga ibang ginagawa so far. And take note nyo, at least every week makapag-live tayo para maka-attend kayo ng ating mga review sessions. Ayun, balik tayo sa ating live broadcast at papakilala ako sa inyo. I am Aris Barago and I am currently a vocational school administrator dito sa Mauban, Quezon. The name of the school is Manuel S. Enverga Memorial School of Arts and Trades. This is a technical vocational high school dito sa Mauban, Quezon, and we have 4 in Quezon Province. I think the position title of vocational school administrator is unique for Quezon Province, and we have 2 vocational school administrators dito sa Region 4A Calabarzon. The other one is Tanawan School of Fisheries sa Tanawan, Batangas. And I think there are many vocational school administrators throughout the Philippines. I have rose from the rank from Teacher 1, Teacher 2, Teacher 3, Master Teacher 1, Master Teacher 2, Principal 1, Principal 2, OICP SDS, and Vocational School Administrator. And have also passed various examinations. Of course, the LET. Second is the Principal's Test. And lately, I would like to announce that I also passed the Educational Management Test 2023 or the Superintendent's Exam, which I took last August. And I was one of the 23 passers out of 962 who took the exam last August. Sir Johnny Abanador, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for your greetings. So let me start. Sayang ang oras. I will be discussing about school-based management, and let me present my screen. Okay, I will be presenting about school-based management, its principles, methods, and strategies, the school report card, or defining the SBM impact to schools, and the SBM levels of practice and their implications. We have DepEd Order number 83, series of 2012, which is the implementing guidelines on the revised school-based management or the school-based management SBM framework, assessment, processes, and tool, or the APAT. So take note, this is under DepEd Order number 83, series of 2012. What is the aims of this DepEd order? Number one is to further strengthen the school-based management practice and re-emphasize the centrality of the learners and the involvement of relevant community basic education service delivery. DepEd embarked on revisiting the SBM framework assessment process and tool to improve on already recognized successful SBM practices across the regions, and to officially use the revised SBM framework assessment process and tool as instrument in assessing the school's SBM practice, and to use as venue to introduce the harmonized Philippine accreditation system for basic education. Yun po ang meaning ng PASB, Philippine Accreditation System for Basic Education, as an integral component of SBM practice. So what is the legal basis for this school-based management? Take note, if you will be taking the examination, it is also important to know various provisions of the law, such as Article 2, Section 17 of the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, which states that the state shall give priority to education, science and technology, arts, culture, and sports to foster patriotism and nationalism, accelerate social progress, and promote total human liberation and development. So therefore, the Constitution of the Philippines states that it prioritizes education. And for the promotion of the total human liberation, ito yung sinasabi natin na human capital, which is the development of the person through education. And part of it also is yung health, which is doon naman sa other department, which is the Department of Health. For Article 14, Section 1, which also states that the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. And as we can see, kita to dun sa ating bagong matatag curriculum, which says that education should be inclusive. In 2006, a more comprehensive package of policy reforms dubbed as the Basic Education Sector Reform Agenda, or the BESRA, was launched to sustain and expand the gains of SFI through school-based management, along with the teacher education development, national learning strategies, quality assurance, monitoring and evaluation, and organizational development. SBM was identified as one of the key reform trusts or KRTs envisioned to effect improvements at the school level. Hence, several enabling policies on SBM were formulated, including the establishment of the School Governing Council, the conduct of assessment of level of practice, school improvement planning, and reporting of accomplishments through school report cards. These policies were supported by a budget line item in the General Appropriations Act for the installation of SBM in all public elementary and secondary schools. So therefore, it is important that all schools should have the school-based management practices. And it should be hand in hand with the SGC, or the School Governance Council, and following the school improvement plan, which is on a 3-year cycle, the SRC, which is presented mid-year and at the end of the school year through SOSA, di ba? And all of this should follow the General Appropriations Act. That is why marami po sa ating mga teachers ang nagagalit o naiinis pag hinihingan sila ng mga data. But let us tell them that this corresponding data is equivalent to a budget. This corresponding activity is equivalent to a budget. And therefore, this is very important in the planning practices, lalo na po sa mga ginagawa natin sa ating mga paaralan. And we cannot decide, we cannot plan without the basis of a sound data. Other bases, let us take note of these things kasi this might be enumerated in an examination. Malimit po sa mga examination, ang sinasabi ay ang ating examination ay nagsasabi na which is not or except. There might be questions na tungkol sa legal basis tapos masasamahan siya ng isang legal basis na hindi naman part ng SBM. So we should know all the details regarding a certain policy or a certain program. And therefore, the Department of Education launched the Schools First Initiative or the SFI in 2015 to empower the school and its community stakeholders to effectively address access and quality issues in basic education. The Schools First Initiative. And to be able to deliver to the Filipino people the quality education they need under Republic Act 9155 or the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, which was signed and enacted into a law. Therefore, the implementation of the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001 or RA 9155 provides the mandate for decentralizing the system of school management and recognizes the role of the local government units and other stakeholders as partners in education service delivery. And Section 2 of Republic Act 9155 states that the policy and principle for the governance of basic education shall be translated into programs, projects, and services developed, adapted, and offered to fit local needs. And therefore, as Malen et al. Stated in 1990, school-based management is a form of decentralization that identifies the individual school as a primary unit of improvement and relies on the distribution of decision-making authority to the school level as the primary means through which improvement might be stimulated and sustained. Kaya po paggagawa tayo ng plano and we are always saying, dapat magkakasama tayo pag tayo ay magpaplano, mga kasamang guro, mga kasama sa community. Dahil pag nagtagumpay tayo at nakarating tayo roon, tagumpay natin ito. Pero pag tayo lang, solo lang, tayo ang nag-decide, tayo ang nag-plan, at tayo ay nag-fail, and so therefore it is your failure. Pero if we work together, then we can succeed. SBM intends to create schools that are responsive and adaptive with sufficient capacity for self-ownership to make changes that enhance students' learning. However, decentralization of central power to school level could not guarantee that school would use power effectively to enhance education quality. This is very good because this statement states that it should be empowering people and that it should be on enhancing students' learning. 'Di ba meron tayong tinatawag na yung the moral purpose of education, 'di ba? Na laging sinasabi ni Sir Otep Titar sa kanyang mga seminar that education is about changing and transforming the lives of children and young people and their families. Di ba po? What are the key concepts, philosophies, and principles underlying SBM? It is progressive and developmental. It is decentralized. It is self-empowered. When we say it is progressive and developmental, we will start with the first level of practice, the next level of practice, level 2, and then the next level of practice, SBM level 3. and it is decentralized. We are focusing on what really the school needs, 'di ba? And what is the location of the school? What are the things that should be done, 'di ba, to address problems? And therefore it is also self-empowered with the school head and the people with him, with the community working together and empowering each other to do their part in improving the lives of children and educating the students. Next, to operationalize these principles, these aspects have to be in place. Ito po yung mga aspects that should be considered in the school-based management. It should be participatory management, empowered stakeholders, and schools managed by for of the school and the community. And with this, makikita natin na in participatory management, the ideas, the suggestions, and the feedbacks should be taken in by the leader or by the school head or by the TIC or by the OIC, so that it will be part of the planning stage. It can be part of the delivery of basic education services considering their feedbacks. Sabi nga, that feedbacks is the breakfast of champions. And then empowered stakeholders. If the stakeholders knew how to do a certain thing, di ba? Then it can help in the educative process. I have seen improvement in the community. I've seen families or empowered barangay leaders who help in the reading program. They became reading teachers, di ba? And this is called empowerment. Likewise, school managed by for of the school and the community. Likewise, this is related to the participatory management. Access and SBM, the framework is DepEd's vision of change, a child and community-centered education systems or access. A child or learner-centered education is learning focused, developmental stage appropriate, gender sensitive, culture responsive and sensitive, environmentally safe and accessible. So thus, meron ba ang paaralan natin? Is it learning focused? Is it considering the time on task for teachers? Is it developmental? Does it have a developmental stage appropriation for the students? Is it gender sensitive? Or the school has a culture of being responsive and sensitive? Is it environmentally safe and accessible? So these are the things that we should consider if our school is practicing a learner-centered education. So let's have this example. Access as a product, it is the ultimate outcome of the communities, barangays working together to protect the right of every child for quality education and better life. As a process, it is an approach to effectively decentralize and bring to reality the mainstreaming of education as a tool for human development and total community transformation. Uh, it was a year, I think, when before the pandemic, I have this community program which is called Math Cycle, which is Math and Science on Tricycle. Tumutulong kami sa mga bata na may mga difficulties sa mathematics and science. Kaya Math Cycle, yung mga nagtuturo is in a tricycle. And we are going through various barangays dito sa Mauban. And we have volunteers. We're a group of teachers who are teaching the children, the school children, basically mga elementary in mathematics and science. And then meron ding component ng feeding program. Tapos yung mga teacher na mga may birthday, may anniversary, sila na yung nagpi-pledge para dun sa part ng feeding program. And what is good here is the barangay helps the supports the math cycle program which I introduced. Yung barangay captain, nagbibigay siya ng mga tao to help and to secure the place for peace and order. Nagpo-provide sila ng mga gamit during our instruction. And other barangay officials help us also in the instruction sa mga estudyante. And I think this is one example of a process, di ba? To bring reality in the mainstreaming of education for human development and for total community transformation, 'di ba? Makikita natin yung mga ibang community ang hihirap pero ang lapit ng school sa kanila. Sana schools are doing their part on how to address problems within the community. Ang plano ko for our school, since it is a technical vocational school, we will teach basic skills dun sa mga nanay at saka sa mga tatay, carpentry, electrical, welding, dressmaking, para kung ma-empowered sila and they can have their business and they can have their part-time jobs or at least a side hustle or it's their core business na pwede nilang gawin ay matulungan nila yung pamilya nila with that, ma-address yung kahirapan, makikita sila, tapos yung mga anak nila matulungan nila pagdating sa mga baon, mga pangangailangan sa school. And I think that is total community transformation. Excuse lang po ha. So let me go back to what I am discussing. So as I have shared, ito po yung mga example na pwede nating gawin to help the community. So we also have the four principles of access, the principle of collective leadership and governance, the principle of community-based learning, and the principle of accountability for performance and results, and principle of convergence to harness resources for education. What are these? Number one, the principle of collective leadership and governance. When we say we are practicing collective leadership, as of the moment, as a school head, you should have your core group or at least group of people to help you in leading the school. It is not just centralized, and this representative are from various sectors, so that ideas can be collective and that efforts within the groups can be put into one. Therefore, it is a collective leadership. Halimbawa, meron kang mga teachers na into doing research or teachers who are into the technical aspect of work. So you can collectively ask for their help conducting research and that doing actions to provide assistance to the learners and as well as to the community. Next is the principle of community-based learning. It is very important since we are also empowering the community, as I have mentioned. The community is part of the learning processes. Next is the principle of accountability for performance and results. Usually, pag may mga awarding, ang tumatanggap ng award ay yung principal. At lagi niyang sinasabi, this award will not be we will not re- we this award is for the teachers of this school, this is for the parents, 'di ba, lagi niyan sinasabi. And with that, the school head is really taking into account the accountability, the collective leadership. But let us take note that as teachers, as school heads, and as part of DepEd, we are accountable for what we are doing. And with that, we should stick to the target and the common goal of promoting literacy and numeracy for our students. And therefore, we should take note that I am accountable for this and keep on reminding ourselves that the performance of student is always at risk and that we should not compromise on below performance or average performance. And thus, we should consider that our accountability is not for the children, but it is for their future. Next, the principle of convergence to harness resources for education. Ang lagi kong sinasabi, if we will be doing partnership, we should always look into the core business of our partners. For example, you will be needing chairs. Huwag kayong lumapit dun sa mga businessman na hardware ang business or yung mga nagtitinda ng pagkain. Look for those furniture shops, o di ba, na who can help you with the chairs. If syempre mga school materials, doon kayo sa may mga bookstore or doon sa mga business na about bookstore, di ba? Or if you will be looking for technical assistance into reading and writing. So therefore, go to universities offering English mathematics courses so that they can help you in providing technical assistance as to instruction and as to reading practices. So therefore, this is convergence and you should harness that to educate our students. So take note, ito po yung mga principles ng access and sometimes sa mga examination, itatanong yung sasabihin ay what are the four principles? These are the four principles of access except. So meron dyan tatlo na babanggitin, aalisin yung isa tapos sasangatan ng ibang question. And if you really knew the principles, teka, ito yung nawala And so therefore, yung isinangat, that is the answer. Yun yung part ng which is not. And in examination, it is really important that you know how to critic and you know how to eliminate. With that, you can pass the examination. In a nutshell, it is along these views that SBM as a reformed trust has been revised and broadened to better highlight the children learner as the center of SBM practice, to encompass the diverse realities of learning context defined and uniquely occurring within specific geographic, social, cultural, economic, political, and environmental makeup for the contemporary society. So therefore, with SBM, the learner is the center of SBM practice. It is the center of the educative process. It is the center of what DepEd is working for, the children. And to encompass the diverse realities defined and uniquely occurring within specific geographic, social, cultural, economic, political, and environmental makeup of the contemporary society, we can say that SBM is localized, it is personalized, and it should be addressed within the needs, within the context of our school within the context of our community. And next is to enhance the commitment of education stakeholders at all levels to their responsibilities and accountabilities in realizing the education outcomes for children. Diba? It takes a village to educate the child. To further promote shared governance between the school community. To integrate accreditation into SBM for a seamless assessment of a school system. And it is important also to accredit or SBM. Ano na ba yung level namin? Ano na ba yung practices namin? So there should be an assessment. And I think assessment can be conducted by the regional offices, and there are assigned people to check on us in the school level. Mag-check ay regional level. And I think the division offices are also providing technical assistance to schools. The only thing that you should need to do is to ask for help and to ask for technical assistance. Next is to improve the school system's capacity to be on track in achieving the education for all or the Millennium Development Goals and sustain good performance. So I think hindi na ngayon MDG, may bago na. Next is the revised SBM assessment tool. This is the scoring of the 4 principles. Leadership and governance is 30%, curriculum and learning is 30%, accountability and continuous improvement is 25%, and management of resources 15%. As you can see, malaki ang chunk ng ating curriculum and learning, 30%, as well as leadership and governance. And for accountability and continuous improvement, it's 25%. Management of resources is 15%. And then, ito yung mga scoring. And take note that the total rating for the 4 principles is the sum of all the weighted ratings, and this value is the school rating based on the DOD. Okay? The level of practice is computed based on the criteria, 60% based on improvement of learning outcomes, and 40% according to the validated practices using DOD. So come to think of it, yung 40% yun pa lang yung mga validated papers. And of course, 60% is based on improvement of learning outcomes. And dito nakikita sa 60% yung mga key performance indicators. And what are the description of the SBM level of practice? Level 1 is developing structures and mechanisms with acceptable level and extent of community participation and impact on the learning outcomes. Level 2, maturing, which is introducing and sustaining continuous improvement process that integrates wider community participation and improves significantly performance and learning outcomes. And level 3 is advanced or the accredited level, which is ensuring the production of intended outputs, outcomes, and meeting all standards of a system fully integrated in the local community and is self-renewing and self-sustaining. And ano ang difference niya? Yung level 3 have met all the standards of a fully integrated, and it is integrated within the community, it is self-renewing, and it is self-sustaining. Level 3, advanced level. So SBM levels of practice, a systematic approach to quality assurance to drive overall school effectiveness. School effectiveness is the capacity of a school to maximize school functions or the degree to which a school can perform school functions when given a fixed amount of school input. This is according to Cheng in 2023, which is the School Effectiveness in School-Based Management 2nd edition, Routledge, page 12. Ano yan? Autonomy, flexibility, transparency, accountability, and participatory. What are the implications of school-based management on school practice? It develops strategic mindset. It sets clearly defined goals and responsibilities, develops professionalism among the staff, encourages continuous learning, and facilitates the use of data and evidence. It also drives operational excellence, encourages responsible fiscal planning and spending. It maximizes stakeholder engagement. It promotes ownership, commitment, shared responsibility. It also promotes a firm focus on student success. Therefore, ensures the school vision and mission are carried out in the best way possible with these implications through strategic management. So SBM and strategic management is participation and leadership. We will consider environmental analysis. With that, we have planning, structuring, stopping, directing, implementing, and of course, monitoring and evaluating. What is the impact of SBM? Our central finding is that autonomy reforms improve student achievement in developed countries but undermine it in developing countries. A low levels of economic development, increased autonomy actually hurts students' outcomes, in particular in decision-making areas related to academic content. By contrast, in high-income countries, increased autonomy over academic content, personnel, and budget exerts positive effects on student achievement. Therefore, yung mga high-income countries, sila pa yung may increased autonomy over their content and other matters, says that they have better student achievement. This is according to Hanushek 2012. Okay? And we can say that autonomy is, or being an autonomous, okay, or autonomous practice can improve student achievement. Therefore, it is localized and you are the one who can adjust and that you can get people to help you and that everything is retrofitted. The impact of SBM is also this one. The study showed that there was a significant positive effect of school-based management implementation to the quality of education that could be seen from the aspects of the vision and mission of the school: openness, transparency, independence, accountability, empowerment of school resources, and community involvement by Wiono 2017. Alam naman natin na pag ang isang school or isang school head will practice transparency, openness, and all of the people are being accountable or thinking that they are accountable for what they are doing, will of course have a significant positive effect for the whole school community. Next, improvement in the quality of learning through SBM was seen as a function of well-executed planning, organizing, implementing, and supervising management process carried out in autonomous, flexible, participatory, transparent, and accountable manner. That is by Motiwarati 2021. And here are other studies on decision making as a school-based management practice, which says that in Indonesia, the involvement of school residents in decision making should be integrated to bring better changes to schools' progress of education. Therefore, it is important na nagkakandak tayo ng mga meeting, nagkakandak tayo ng ating mga state of the school address, and that everything should be presented to our stakeholders. Sa Indonesia pa rin, the leadership of the school principal is important in implementing SBM. Thus, decision-making autonomy at the criterion level is required. Yan. Indonesia, also, by Rini et al., school-based management can facilitate practitioners in the involvement of school committees in strategic decisions. The shortage of power to make decisions should be addressed to replace the old centralized pattern of school management. Yan, nakakapag-practice din ng practitioners sa school committee, sa mga strategic decision. And this is also part of a training sa mga empowering former not former but future school heads, di ba? Yung mga former school heads ko, they are part of my success as a school head because they have empowered me and they have given me opportunities to be involved in various school committees and in helping address the goals, visions, and mission of DepEd. In Nigeria, findings of the study revealed that youth committee members stated their voice in the committees through participation in several committee activities. So we have various organizations in schools and that they can be part of giving feedback. My practice here sa school, I usually pag halimbawa yung teacher naka-leave, ako nagsasab na pasok ako doon sa isang classroom and I talk to students, I ask for their feedback. What can you say about this program that we are offering? Or what can you say, how can it be improved? Naghihingi ako sa kanila ng parang open letter so that I can read and analyze what are their requests and what are their needs. Okay? But I address that secretly. And from the viewpoint of Generation C, the school should be empowered to make decisions for the effective maneuver of the school. So, yung mga Generation C, these are students who we don't know are just using their cell phone, but they are looking forward for a brighter future. Next is mixed model. Itong Nepal, Shiwakoti 2020 is considered wherein there is a blending of head teacher, teacher, and community control model for the collaboration of major stakeholders to make appropriate decisions for better quality. What I'm saying is that these researches, of course, will not be asked in the principal test or this will not be cited. But what I am saying is the idea that you might be asked on the impact of SBM. And this researches is are strong evidences saying that SBM is really effective. Meron pa sa Malaysia by Hill and Berezina 2020, empowering teachers to make more decisions about their training and professional development could be a relatively simple and easy reform that would help to lift school performance in all the countries of Southeast Asia. So therefore, pag nagpapa-inset ba kayo, nagkakandak ba kayo ng training needs assessment sa mga teacher or you as a school head or as a head teacher kayo yung nagde-decide ng topic para sa mga teacher? Ito yung uso ngayon na topic, ito yung i-discuss ko. So I think which is best is you should provide a training needs assessment for your teachers so that it can be addressed. Next, in Indonesia by Myloel et al. 2020, the results showed that the principal's decision-making, organizational commitment, and school climate had a positive and significant effect on the performance of vocational school teachers, both partially and simultaneously. So we, as teachers and vocational school administrator, really should work on various organizations and of course provide a school climate which is positive, which is supportive, which is asking for the suggestions, which is a school providing students with a safe working environment, specifically in a textbook school, with provisions of equipment and materials so that it can perform better. Ito pa, sa Middle East, Iraq, Torlak et al. The leaders at K-12 schools could encourage the participation of all units, levels, and layers in the debate through evaluating various suggestions in decision-making. In doing so, the leaders might secure fair treatment, judgment, honesty, creativity, shared vision, lenience, modesty, and graciousness, easing conciliation and consensus among the members of a discussion. In this way, The leaders will respect the right of organizational members to monitor their work and facilitate their involvement and autonomy. O si, di ba? Ang ganda nito. Leaders respecting the rights of members, di ba? To monitor their work and facilitate involvement and autonomy. Kaya ngayon, pag mag-observe ng classes, it is really scheduled. And that is part of what this study is saying, that these members have their right in the organization, and that they should be monitored with respect. Okay? And that facilitating their involvement is equally important. And therefore, our analysis based on the data set of PISA 2006 survey leads to the following result. The separate adoption of SBM and SBA seems to have a positive effect on student achievement, especially in the case of SBA, but their joint application has a much stronger impact. So therefore, this is the study by Camignatello, 2012, the effects of school-based management and standards-based accountability. Meron pa, the right blend of centralized and decentralized decision-making as a school-based management practice could empower schools at their best while the organization achieve optimum performance by Cornito 2021. Sometimes we have to base our decisions, and usually we have to base our decision based on issued memoranda and DepEd order. Ito yung mga impact of SBM. So if you have a top school-based management, so makikita nyo na mataas din yung kanyang level ng mga standardized scores across school level and teacher level. Therefore, the success of SBM requires collective effort and participation from all sectors of the school, especially among work groups and individual teachers. Ito, by Katri, Ling, and Ja, 2010. SBM program in the Philippines shows that school average student performance on national tests improved between 2002 to 2003 and 2004 and 2005, and that the level of improvement was higher for schools involved in SBM for 2 years compared to the schools that had not yet received the intervention or received the intervention later. School average student performance improved in math, science, and English, and on the composite score. Improvement for schools that received SBM early was significantly higher in science and English on composite test scores. And in conclusion, the impact of SBM in a school system is multidimensional. The success of SBM relies on layering multiple factors. As we can see, it is multidimensional. Lahat ng mga members sa community, lahat ng mga teachers, they should be part in this school-based management. The people-centeredness is key to the successful implementation of SBM. And there is no one way to improve schools, which is a combination of different drivers, is necessary to reach the optimum performance. Ayan, ang ating framework. We have level 1, level 2, level 3. And with that, autonomous na siya and an accredited status pag level 3, and that it has well-managed resources and that accountability, continuous improvement, curriculum and learning, leadership, and governance is embedded in this framework. So meron naman tayong tinatawag na PASBE or the Philippine Accreditation System for Basic Education. PASBE accreditation is a certification process that looks into the essential areas of school operations, and they conform with quality standards. The standards have been established through a consensus of stakeholders of basic education. To be accredited, a school must show sufficient and compelling evidence that it is achieving its avowed purposes, conforming with PASBE standards, and implementing the recommendations of the National Accreditation Board or the NAB. PASBE aims to provide opportunity to schools with potential to improve the quality of their organizational practices and learning outcomes through containing self-assessment and peer review. It encouraged also nationwide implementation of PASBE standards for quality basic education and strengthened partnership of DepEd with national organization of private and public elementary and secondary school heads to facilitate accreditation of deserving schools, and likewise consolidate the best practices of accredited schools and utilize them for the continuous upgrading of the PASBE standards. So ito yung mga assumptions. All schools shall provide quality education is a constitutional mandate. School accreditation is accepted worldwide as a method of ensuring quality education. It is therefore important that all school heads get their school accredited. The goal of every school is successful learning for all learners. The integrity of a school rests on how well it is achieving its goal. It is a primary consideration in accrediting a school. Goal achievement is enhanced if basic school operations and practices are regulated by quality standards. A critical mass is needed to effect change. Schools division share work for the accreditation not only of some but all of its schools. Success for school accreditation is sustained collective effort of the DepEd Central, Regional, Division, District offices. Therefore, systematic recognition and incentive programs in terms of higher school grant, capital outlay allocation, and performance bonus are used to accelerate implementation and reward best practices. And we will stop here sa ating discussion ng SBM. Next live natin, we will be discussing DepEd Order number 44, Series of 2015, Guidelines on the Enhanced School Improvement Planning Process in the School Report Card. Napaka-importante nito kasi ito ay part ng um, ating mga dapat nating malaman tungkol sa planning stage, lalo na sa pagkakandak ng school improvement plan. Okay? And it is, I think, part of domain 1. Okay? Which is, ang tawag natin ay strategic leadership. So for now, I will be stopping, and by my next live, I will be discussing this. So keep on watching, commenting, and subscribe to Aris Barago Vlogs. Thank you and good day. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Johnny Amanador and Sir Bernito, for watching my live broadcast.